much so that over 60% of my business comes in through that medium. 6 seconds of a video. I mean, people don't want to watch it.
I think social media is becoming an increasingly important tool for politicians in order to get their message out to the wider audience. Everyone now is walking around with a smartphone in their pocket. People want to receive information on the move. So if you're not pushing information out via digital channels, you're not going to reach your audience.
I think it's very, very important for politicians, but I think it's very, very important for wider society. We see businesses, we see schools, we see all sections of local community engaging in social media. How we do media has changed an awful lot in the last decade, never mind the last generation or half a century. We have a 24-hour news cycle now, so if there is an event or an incident that happens, people want to know about it now. They have the chance through Twitter, through Facebook, through the 24-hour news on their digital TV. Information is given right away. People are looking for a comment right away, and I think there's a real appetite for it.
Social media is very much a two-way communication tool. If we go back to traditional forms of advertising, it was all one way. Newspapers, print, radio. There was no real way for the receiver of the information to ask a question. Now with social media, it allows for that two-way conversation to be opened up and for the receivers of the message to ask questions and ask questions directly to the person delivering the message.
A good example of that is that we're organising a Van Morrison gig. So I tweeted this and I had people from all over the world contacting me, asking me could they get tickets. In fact, just this week, somebody tweeted me from Mexico and asked could I get them tickets for it. So in terms of tourism, in terms of even going outside Northern Ireland and attracting international visitors, I think it's a great tool.
I find it very useful actually just to try and engage with the younger generation probably mostly, and it's instant, or it's pretty instant. People can just send you a message about the gridding of a road in the morning, for instance, and you can try and get a response back to them as soon as you can.
Well, it's really important that we communicate with people in as many different ways as possible. And certainly there are many people today one of whose main methods of communication is perhaps Facebook or Twitter or whatever. It's a great way to communicate with them and get your message across.
I think it's the only way to engage, particularly with a youth audience. If you're thinking about a youth audience, if we look at some of the demographics of the users that are using social media today, if we take Snapchat for example, 17 to 24 is the demographic that's using Snapchat right now. So if you're trying to reach a youth audience particularly, you're not going to reach them via any other medium. You're going to be only reaching them via Snapchat. So you need to be thinking as a politician, as an MLA, how can we use social media to reach our audience? It's going to be a lot more cost effective and it's going to be a lot more engaging if you're pushing your messages out through digital channels.
I think our own party, Sinn Féin, are actually quite good at doing it. We were provided with different means of training for example. I think some people don't realise the pitfalls. I think it's like a shop window. If you have a shop window, it's important to have it well furnished, to have it fresh. If you have a shop window and you don't put anything new into it, well then it looks worse than having no shop window at all.
Twitter I find is probably the best for instant access. You see what people's opinions are on things, and obviously they come and read and see what I'm doing. So if I can get time to put something into 140 characters and get it out there, then people will see what I'm doing.
Certainly it's one of the main tools in terms of communicating with people, and very often I would use it even to find out what's going on, get all the up-to-date news without having waiting to the Belfast Telegraph or the newsletter Irish News comes out.
So there's a shift in the way people are receiving communication messages from a traditional format as it was previously done to now a more digital format. So you've got to be thinking of what ways and what channels can you use to push your message out and how can you reach the user that matters to you the most.
I think at the end of the day, if people didn't enjoy doing it, it wouldn't be there. I think you see mums and dads, brothers and sisters, everybody now has a social media presence. So it's very, very important, and I think it's very, very good to see.